What up, everybody? Today I'm talking about revenge, specifically talking about Trell and Boom, who both got ladies that they refused to let go. Trell has an artist who he had under contract that he feels like he groomed to be a superstar in Purdy. And with Boom, it's his wife Markeisha. And there's a saying that the quest for revenge often ends in a fatal ending for all involved. Starting out with Trell and Purdy, because we know from the episode 8 trailer that Trell's going to make his next move in episode 8. While we know Boom will return at some point in season 4 to get his revenge on Markeisha from the season 4 trailer. And I'll get to that in a minute, but we don't know if it's coming in episode 8 or possibly episode 9 or 10. The episode 8 trailer shows Trell talking to his security guard Kano concerning Purdy and telling him that if he can't have her, nobody will. And I think most of us probably know a guy like that, very possessive over a female, refusing to let her move on with her life. We already know that Trell is serious about this and he's not just talking, but he's for real. Because he already had his security guard, Kano, try to take out Purdy already when she was performing on stage at her album release party. After getting shot, Purdy told Meech that she doesn't know if she's going to be able to get back on stage or not. And even though Meech encouraged her, it's still something yet to be seen if she'll have a PTSD type breakdown when she gets on stage, having flashbacks to when she got shot. But since getting shot, Purdy's drug abuse has went to a whole new level, and it was even starting to show in her appearance in episode 7, as Purdy was looking real down bad, now mixing her pain meds and coke at the same time. And at first when she signed to Meech and Terry's label, she was hiding her habit from everybody else, and nobody expected anything like that either. But by episode 7, both Laz and Tina knew that she had a habit, and Purdy wasn't even trying to hide it anymore either, hitting bumps in front of Tina. And she told Tina that coke helps her write and perform. That Trell understood that, but they didn't. At this point in time, Tina took Purdy's coke from her, only to return to the studio later on and find Purdy OD'd on the ground. After that, Tina checked Purdy into rehab, only for when Meech went to check on Purdy at rehab, she had already checked herself out. So a couple questions I have concerning Purdy is, where did she go after checking herself out of rehab? It was likely to get some more coke. Getting me to my next question, is Trell who she gets her coke from? Keeping in mind, before she got signed with Meech and T, when she was at Trell's house, he gave her coke. So Trell might still be in Purdy's life supplying her with drugs. And if that's the case, that's a big problem, because he still has access to her and influence over her. And because of that, I think Trell's next move, when he told Kano that if he can't have her, nobody will, is that he's going to give Purdy some bad coke and try to kill her. Or possibly some coke mixed with heroin to try to turn her into a junkie. Because the episode 8 trailer shows Detective Bryant confronting Meech, Terry, and Charles at a hospital. I'm thinking this is most likely when they're at a hospital checking on Purdy after she overdosed again, or did the bad drugs that Trell gives her. Also keeping in mind that in episode 8, Charles is supposed to be moving to Atlanta to work with Purdy and help Meech and T around the studio. So if Purdy potentially dies from doing the bad drugs that Trell gives her, or whatever he plans on doing when he makes his next move in episode 8, it will have more than just an impact on Purdy, Meech, and Terry and their record label. More than the impact it will have on Meech and Terry, because they still have their main business, their drug empire to run, and the music is just more of a hobby type thing for them. Charles, on the other hand, is counting on this job, working for Meech and Terry, helping around the studio. So this could potentially just be another letdown for Charles after he started to get his hopes up again for the music industry. Because earlier in the season, he was supposed to go on tour, but one of the Campbell brothers had to get vocal surgery. Then when the tour was back on, after he recovered, Charles then broke his hand. So if this happens, and something happens to Purdy and Charles isn't able to take the job helping in the studio, this would be the third time in one season Charles got his hopes up to get back into the music industry, only to be let down. And we saw the depression that Charles was going through a few episodes ago when he wasn't able to work. Also keep in mind there's an image from a funeral in season 4. Could this potentially be Purdy's funeral? I think it's a possibility, but then again, with Lucille crying like that, I don't think she would cry for somebody that she never met. But on the other hand, if Purdy does survive and is able to continue working with Charles moving forward, Charles might be the type of person that Purdy needs to be around as a positive influence to help get her off the drugs. Getting me to Boom's revenge on Markeisha. And just like Trell told his security guard Kano, if he can't have Purdy, nobody will. Even though Boom hasn't said this out loud, his actions will demonstrate that he has the same mentality. Because the season 4 trailer shows Markeisha in her car and Boom ramming his car into her car from the side. And this is an event that happened in real life between the two characters that Markeisha and Boom are based on, Tanisha Welch and Harold Mills. It said that Harold crashed into Keisha's car, then pulled her out and was going to shoot her, but left her for dead on the side of the road instead. And according to the Tanisha Welch story, First Lady of BMF, this is ultimately what caused her and T to leave Detroit for good to move to LA. Terry's going to want to get revenge himself and kill Boom for what he did to Markeisha, but I think Markeisha will probably use the same excuse to stop Terry from doing anything to Boom, telling him again that he's the father of one of her children. But Boom is pissed off at Keisha because he feels like she played him. That's why after Terry fought him at Keisha's house, Boom called Terry stupid and told him that Keisha was playing Terry just like she played him. Keeping in mind the episode before Boom got out of prison, Keisha had visited Boom in prison and she was telling him that she was loyal to him and was going to be with him and that she had ended things with Terry. So because of that, Boom gets out of prison and goes to live with his wife because of what she had just finished telling him, only for Terry to show up and for Boom to find out that Keisha had been lying to him. So either though Trell and Boom might be a little obsessive and going overboard with their actions, both of them do actually have viable reasons to be upset. Boom getting played and lied to by Keisha while he was in prison, and Trell with Purdy leaving his label while she was under contract with him, and the whole way he was forced to sign the paperwork to release her. But one thing about Keisha getting hit by Boom in season 4 is that it looks like they moved the timeline up a little bit with that event, possibly wanted to show it happening in case this is the final season. So possibly T and Keisha will go to LA a few years earlier than they did in real life, or we could see Terry trying to get revenge against Boom in Detroit, because at the end of the day, Boom will most likely get back in the game at some point and become a rival of Terry's also. Either that, or I think there's even a better possibility that he'll become a snitch and try to get info on T and BMF either through his son or trying to smooth things over with Keisha. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.